Okay, we're back. It's Golden Mike Gaming here. I really wish I should have did that in the first video. I might post this one first just to kind of get it out there. But sticking with the NFC South, I'm gonna say why each team in the NFL will or won't make the playoffs, and we'll try to see if I'm right or wrong when I come back here and maybe 10, 12 months and see who comes back and tells me I'm right or wrong. I don't know. I'm making predictions, hot takes, all that. I want to see what's gonna happen, and I might as well throw it out there. Maybe I can get y'all to come back. But the Bucks team, before I even look at before I even look at this roster, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. They will not make the playoffs this year. I don't know how hot of a take that is, Bucks fans. Y'all tell me. I don't see the Bucks making the playoffs. I think they fall 1, 2 games short of winning the division. But I'd like to do both sides of this coin. If they could make it, here's what they have to do. But I don't see them making it, and I'll explain why. This could be a big reason, and I'm not hating on them. It's the same thing in the Saints video. It's really going to depend on quarterback play. A lot of it's going to depend on quarterback play, the rest of the offense. But Baker Mayfield, can he get that fire he had when he led the Browns to the playoffs and when he came in for the Rams against, was it the Raiders? I want to make sure I get that right. When he came in. I'm sorry. I'm actually going to look this one up. Ah, yeah. Okay. I was right. It was Raiders. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm not too terribly wrong on these. But if he can capture that magic that he had in the half that he played in that game too, then the Bucks overall can be fine. But speaking of run game and the scheme change that I've heard they're doing, they're no longer going to do this power running gap scheme that they had when Tom Brady was here. They're going to go to the West Coast Shanahan scheme that everybody else in the NFL seems to run. Soon the NFL is going to be the same damn thing over and over again. It's going to be just like Madden. Might explain why Madden keeps being the same thing every year, but Got Rashad White, Chase Edmonds, Keyshawn Vaughn. Not going to get too many reps. Probably going to be the scat back and receiving back. Probably going to end up having to do everything in his second year. But with them doing this zone run wide type thing that they're going to do that every other Shanahan team does and try to run the whole West Coast, and then they're going to run the play action. My whole thing, and that's with all of these teams, because all four of the teams in the South, I think, are going to be doing it. The Saints might be the only one that's different, because I think they still run nearly power, but they do run some stretches with it. What happens when every team becomes predictable? Not running the fullback. The saving grace of this team on the offensive side. Not tight ends, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Russell Gage will get in there. Could have just stayed with Atlanta, bro. All that, and we still don't have a championship. All you had to do was stay. David Moore, Trey Palmer coming in. But Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin's going to take on more of that 49ers Deebo Samuel type role. So I think he's going to be the leading receiver of this team. Mike Evans might still have 1,000 yards. Well, I think Chris Godwin is the one that's going to reach that 1,200 or 1,200 yards, maybe the most touchdowns on the team. Tight end wise, Cade Otton. I don't know how much he's going to do this year. I think they probably rely on him just as much if they don't bring in Durham to actually do a little bit more. I mean, we're going to end up seeing, but it's mainly going to be between Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Baker Mayfield. Hopefully isn't just chucking up 50-50 balls, but if he is, Mike Evans should be coming down with him, hopefully. That'll give them their best chance. Offensive line-wise, now I do want to say I've heard that Tristan Wirfs is moving to the left side. That means right guard and right tackle. That means Cody Mach will go to the right side. That'll be the weaker side of their offensive line. Left guard, center should be fine. I mean, Ryan Jensen's going to do everything that he's been doing. I hope he doesn't regress after being rushed back from that injury. I hope, like, as a former offensive lineman, just the injuries that happen on the offensive line can be completely and utterly devastating to the career. So I do hope that he's able to come back, be just as strong, and I hope that the scheme change doesn't mess with him too much. But asking him to run a little bit more. They're asking Tristan Wirfs at 345 to be running a little bit more. Like, I could see him sealing off the backside, maybe getting that cut in. Like, they're going to ask him, like, he's going to have to turn into more of a Trent Williams type. He's going to have to get more athletic if he wants to continue to run. Because the scheme change might do something with them. Unless they go and do what the Giants did, which they allowed their offensive linemen to block it how they needed to. Most teams don't do that. They say this is how you're gonna block it, and it's gonna run a lot of problems. But O-line wise, that's probably gonna be, besides Baker Mayfield. So Baker Mayfield and the offensive line are gonna be what either make or break this offense, maybe make or break this team. Defensive wise, Kancey coming out of Pittsburgh had those Aaron Donald type comps, which, you know, I was happy to hear. Another guy coming out of Pittsburgh. I mean, by the way, I'm not from Pittsburgh, any of that. It's just, you have somebody that comes out of a college, you kind of like, okay, can they produce somebody else? Can they produce another one that's going to be just as good? I mean, he comes and he joins Greg Gaines and Vita Vea to form a good defensive line. Now, if they're probably going to keep him in a 3 technique because he's only 280, whereas both of the other guys are going to be starting at around 320, 350. I mean, Vita Vea is still a force to be reckoned with on the inside. You got Deadrin Sanat coming over here, former Falcon. He didn't do too much in Atlanta for us, but I guess maybe this will be the break that he needs, being this 3-4 defense. Get some reps away from Vita Vea if, you know, running around a little bit too much. If they're trying to do all this extra stuff after rushing the passer, they get a big gain. Might as well just throw Sanat on the field, let him actually get up there. I think Gaines can also go play the middle if he needs to, because when Aaron Donald got hurt, he did step up. He really did play well. He became one of the leaders. Money-wise, I think that's like the biggest reason why they let him go. But I think he's found a home here in Tampa. I think D-line-wise, they're going to be just fine. Shaquille Barrett coming off injury. Can he get past that? Get back to 15, 17 sacks again? Numbers might be wrong. Forgive me if they are. I'm kind of using a roster that's just supposed to be updated, and I've gone through about 3 or 4, and this one looked pretty decently. But Yaya coming out of Louisville. Hopefully Shaquille Barrett can actually get him situated. He's like 6'4", 270, so he's gonna look kind of big coming off the side. He might even be able to, when they specifically know it's passing downs, he might be able to like slide in there and just let him rush as an interior rusher. Still standing up, try and get some twists going, all that, but still you could slide him inside, maybe around like a 1-3-6. You can run a dime package out of this and be just fine. That would technically be a 2-3-6, wouldn't it? Yeah, because 1-3, that's 4-6. Yeah, they'd be a whole player short. Well, okay then. But going on to the middle linebacker, Levante David, Devin White, I'm not even going to sit here and hype them up. But like if you know your team, I'm going to hype up players a little bit more than what they are. But Devin White's not one of those players. Just as annoying as he is in Madden, I think he's just as annoying in real life, of just like, this is a guy you can just blitz up the middle. He's great for spying. He's great to go and chase somebody down. But when it comes to actually playing linebacker, I don't know. I mean, he's one of the fastest, if not the fastest linebackers in the league. So he's doing something right. If he was the first round pick, they won a Super Bowl. Will the Bucs pay him for the future? I mean, if Levante David retires and then you And then you lose Devin White behind that. Did they already pay him? I'm curious now. I'm not gonna look that one up. What I'm getting at here is you got Levante David, Devin White, one of the best linebacker duos that are going to be out there in the league that's really holding this defense together. Dennis could come in. He could get some more reps. Could still be behind Levante David. Maybe Dennis will be playing more of like a more traditional linebacker, playing in the gap, playing where he needs to play instead of being able to run around and just chase everybody down. Wonder if KJ Britt's going to make the team or Ulysses Gilbert III. On the other side, Joe, because I'm not about to mess that one up. And Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez probably could take over this role by the end of the year. Joe Shoyinka. I'm going to take my time to actually get these names correct. But Joe, we're going to need to see a little bit more out of everybody. Like, you could have been the best player last year, and they're still going to ask you to show or ask you to be better than what you just were. So that's what they're going to ask of him. That's what any NFL team's going to ask of their players. But if he doesn't play well, you got Jose Ramirez, who hopefully can come out of Eastern Michigan, play pretty well. I mean, if anything, defensively, they weren't really trying to draft for like, hey, we need to get another big name starter. It was like they're drafting for depth and then hoping that somebody can turn into something good. When it comes to their cornerback situation, low-key, like they're, I don't like all these teams in the NFC South have really fixed their defenses. I think like it is like even if they weren't having even if they did not have any problems, I think they're doing better. Like Jamel Dean, Carlton Davis. You have Antoine Winfield, who can come down there and play slot if he really needs to. You have Ryan Neal coming over. I mean, depth-wise, I don't know, but past Jamel Dean and Carlton Davis, I don't know. I don't know what the secondary is going to hold. It's really going to have to be these guys being healthy the entire time. But, we're going to end up seeing what happens this year. So, overall, not as in-depth as I wanted it to be. But overall, Bucks, I'll give them 5-6 wins. And I'm only saying 5-6 wins because and by the way, hot takes. This is going to piss some people off. Cool. 5-6 wins, maybe even 7. I think like I don't see them winning the division this year. And it's going to be down to their offense more as a unit itself between quarterback and offensive line play. Like the entire backfield is going to be could be in some trouble, and if their right side is as weak, mind you, Tristan Wirfs going to the left side. I know you see him at right tackle here, but he's supposed to be playing left tackle. Maybe they'll flip that if they realize it doesn't work and put him back at right. But need somebody you can trust that can be on that blind side. You don't have Tom Brady who's going to get the ball as fast anymore. Baker might hold it a little bit more, try to look downfield, get that 50-50 to Mike Evans. Because when you have arguably a top 10 receiver, and I won't say arguably because everybody keeps bringing in top 10s and they keep leaving certain people out. He's going to hold that ball and you're going to get to your receiver duo here. Baker Mayfield's going to hold it, try to get it to them. He could get sacked quite a bit. He could end up throwing some interceptions. Could be some lazy throws, or he gets hit as he throws. Gonna put that defense on the field, and as good as they are, and when you get tired, you make mistakes. And if the defense is on the field a whole lot like they were with Jameis, not saying that they were the reason, but mistakes do happen. They end up having to give up scores, not by choice. Maybe they get picked. Maybe the offense gets picked off quite a bit. We'll see what happens. They're not I don't even know if I want to say they're not last place in the division this year because their team's kind of... No, they're not last. I'll give them 7 wins. I think it's still going to be competitive. I'll give them 7 wins. They're probably second or third. As much as, I don't want to say it, and I kind of want to be like, this team's not going to do well because my Falcons will win the division. Yeah, I can't say that because I don't know what's going to happen. I want to try and make it like somewhat, hey, this could happen, but I don't know. So, Bucks 7 wins, maybe 8. Their defense is gonna have to carry kind of how they were before Tom Brady was there. I'm not saying they didn't carry Tom Brady, but Tom definitely didn't in his time there, minus this past season. He didn't really like put them in a whole lot of situations where they couldn't do anything to try and win the game. You know, Jameis Winston's final pass as a Buccaneer was a pick six of Deion Jones, and there's nothing the defense could do about that. It is what it is. But they'll probably finish third, maybe. Like, I think they finished third in the division. And when I get in the final video, I guess I'll put it up. I get in the final video of the NFC South, I guess I'll put it up there. You know, roughly what could happen between the four between the 4 teams of the division, who makes the playoffs, all that. We'll see what happens. But I will be back in a while, sometime, to get this video up as to why the Buccaneers will or won't make the playoffs and how they could make it if they choose to. But list off the team, they're gonna have to do quite a bit in order to make that work. But hey, maybe the Bucs got it this year. I don't know. But I'll see you guys in the next one.